The atmosphere in the studio was electric as Stephen Colbert welcomed his highly anticipated guest, Elon Musk, to thunderous applause. The crowd, a mix of die-hard fans, skeptics, and curious onlookers, rose to their feet as the Tesla and SpaceX CEO strolled onto the set with his trademark mix of swagger and awkward charm. From the start, it was clear that this wasn't going to be just another talk show appearance. The night promised fireworks and it would deliver. Colbert, ever the master of satire and political commentary, began with his usual witty banter, asking Musk about Mars colonization, Neuralink, and his ever-controversial tweets. Musk responded in kind, his answers laced with confidence and scientific bravado, occasionally slipping into technical jargon that left Colbert mock scratching his head. The audience laughed. It seemed like a typical high-energy segment until the conversation veered unexpectedly. Colbert, known for blending comedy with pointed critique, transitioned into a line of questioning about labor practices at Tesla's factories. "You've done incredible things," Colbert said, "but how do you justify those reports about unsafe working conditions and long hours at your factories?" The air shifted. Musk's smile faltered, and he leaned forward. "Those reports are exaggerated," he said coolly. "We take worker safety very seriously. In fact, we're doing more for our workers than most legacy automakers ever have." Colbert, sensing the tension but not backing down, pressed further. "Still, multiple investigations and employee testimonials suggest otherwise. Can you honestly say that some of those issues weren't systemic?" Musk's brow furrowed. "I think you're trying to create a narrative here, Stephen," he shot back. The crowd murmured. The interview was starting to tilt toward the uncomfortable. Colbert maintained his poise, shifting into a more playful tone to lighten the mood. But Musk wasn't having it. The CEO seemed visibly irritated, shifting in his seat, his usual media polish wearing thin. What had started as a celebration of innovation was now turning into a sparring match on national television. Musk's demeanor continued to harden as Colbert pivoted again, this time asking about Musk's well-known conflicts with the Securities and Exchange Commission and recent controversies surrounding AI safety. "There are people who say your statements about AI are fear-mongering, even irresponsible," Colbert said, leaning into his role as both host and provocateur. "Others say your own AI ventures contradict your public warnings." Musk's eyes narrowed slightly. "I'm not sure you understand what you're talking about," he responded flatly, eliciting a few awkward laughs from the audience. Colbert raised an eyebrow but let the jab roll off. "Then enlighten me," he replied. "Are we in a simulation? Will AI destroy us, or will it serve us coffee?" Musk, clearly agitated, launched into a deeply technical and somewhat meandering explanation about recursive self-improvement, AGI risks, and why his companies were the only ones taking meaningful safety precautions. The audience, trying to follow, laughed nervously. Colbert, ever the showman, tried to inject humor. "So basically, you're saying Skynet is inevitable unless you personally stop it?" That landed like a gut punch. Musk recoiled slightly, then chuckled, though it was devoid of amusement. "I think you're being glib about a serious issue," Colbert, not missing a beat, replied, "and I think you're avoiding the point. If you're so worried about the dangers of AI, why profit from it?" At that, Musk visibly stiffened. "That's it," he muttered, and to everyone's surprise, began to unclip his microphone. A hush fell over the studio. Colbert looked stunned, but also intrigued. "Are you leaving?" he asked, half in disbelief. Musk stood up. "I don't need to sit here and be insulted under the guise of comedy," he said, voice rising. "This is a hit job, not an interview." The audience gasped. Some clapped in support, others booed. The tension was explosive. Colbert stood as well, hands raised in mock surrender. "Elon, it's a talk show. We talk. Sometimes it gets uncomfortable, but walking off." Musk ignored him, waving to the audience. "You should think about who you give a platform to," he said, before striding toward the wings. The cameras didn't cut. The director, unsure whether this was a bit or a real meltdown, kept rolling. The moment became instantly viral. Backstage, chaos erupted. Producers scrambled to figure out what to do next, while the audience sat stunned, murmuring among themselves. Colbert, always quick on his feet, turned to the camera and quipped, "Well, that escalated quickly." The audience laughed, albeit nervously. "In case anyone's wondering, that wasn't rehearsed," he added, walking back to his desk. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was already trending across all platforms. Hashtags like #ElonWalkout, #ColbertClash, and #MuskMeltdown shot to the top of X, formerly Twitter. News outlets pounced on the clip, dissecting every moment of the exchange. Analysts speculated about the impact on Musk's brand, while comedians and political commentators weighed in on whether the Tesla titan had finally met his match in Colbert's studio. Back in the green room, Musk was reportedly furious, making calls and instructing his team to spin the incident as media ambush. His camp released a statement within the hour, calling the segment a premeditated attack dressed as comedy, and accusing the network of disrespecting one of the world's foremost innovators. In response, Colbert's team released the uncut footage online, showing the full exchange in its raw form, proving there were no edits, no manipulation, just an unfiltered meltdown. The internet lit up. Memes exploded. Clips of Musk storming off were remixed, auto-tuned, and shared with captions like "When the science guy gets roasted, Elon.x has stopped working." But beyond the humor, there was a deeper cultural conversation unfolding. Had the media gone too far in challenging tech moguls? Or was this a rare case of accountability in an age where billionaires often go unchecked? Pundits took sides. Musk loyalists decried the incident as a cheap stunt, while critics argued that Colbert had finally pierced the armor of a man often treated with uncritical reverence. In Silicon Valley, the reaction was mixed. Some CEOs privately sympathized with Musk, calling the interview a setup, while others admitted that the segment underscored a long overdue reckoning for tech leaders who wield immense influence yet resist scrutiny. For Musk himself, the fallout was both immediate and complex. Stock prices in his companies dipped slightly in the wake of the broadcast, but his core fanbase devoted and fervent rallied behind him, viewing the incident as evidence that the establishment was out to silence disruptive voices. In the days that followed, the Colbert-Musk confrontation became a touchstone moment in the intersection of media, celebrity, and technology. Late-night shows dissected it, podcasts did frame-by-frame breakdowns, and op-eds poured in. Some hailed it as the beginning of a new chapter in holding powerful figures accountable. Others lamented what they saw as the coarsening of public discourse, where no and not even a billionaire inventor could engage in a spirited debate without storming off. Musk's response was telling. He returned to X with a series of cryptic and defiant posts. "Comedy is supposed to be funny, not a smear campaign," he wrote. "Free speech is not just for those who agree with you." He followed that with a meme of Colbert photoshopped as an old-school propaganda poster, and another tweet that simply read, "Next time, I'll bring my own camera crew." Colbert, for his part, remained calm but unapologetic. On his next episode, he addressed the incident directly. "I didn't kick Elon off the show," he said. "He left. And if he wants to come back, he's welcome here, this time maybe with a sense of humor." That quip drew cheers. Meanwhile, the public remained divided. Some admired Musk's refusal to play along with what they saw as media manipulation. Others believed his reaction confirmed a growing perception that the billionaire could dish out criticism but couldn't take it. Meanwhile, ticket sales for Colbert's show skyrocketed, and viewership spiked. The incident became a case study in PR, media ethics, and the limits of celebrity tolerance. Colleges hosted panels about it. Think pieces explored how comedy has become the last battleground for truth-telling in a world of curated narratives. And quietly, in boardrooms and Silicon Valley headquarters, the message was received loud and clear: no matter how powerful you are, the court of public opinion remains unpredictable. Musk eventually returned to the media circuit, appearing on friendlier platforms where the questions were softer and the laughter more predictable. But the Colbert incident lingered like a scar or a badge of honor, depending on your point of view. It reminded everyone that live television still had the power to shock, to disrupt, and to reveal character in real time. For Colbert, it was a defining moment. For Musk, it was a reckoning. And for the audience, it was unforgettable.